A gente está chamando o bombeiro desde 2 da manhã para dar uma força aqui, ó.
The footage emerging from Rio de Janeiro over the last few days has been truly shocking. Entire neighborhoods underwater, cars and buses almost completely submerged on flooded streets. Rescue workers desperately trying to reach people trapped in buildings. Even Rio's iconic Christ, the Redeemer statue, enveloped in menacing storm clouds. The torrential rains that pounded Rio and surrounding areas over the weekend have left devastation and despair in their wake. Hello and welcome to Unpredictable Planet. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at the catastrophic flooding in Rio, try to comprehend the scale of the destruction, and see how rescue efforts and the recovery process are going so far. 11 people lost their lives in the floods, hundreds have been displaced from their homes, and the damage to infrastructure runs into the millions. Let's begin by understanding exactly what happened in Rio over the weekend. According to weather experts, more rain fell over 24 hours than what the city would normally get in an entire month. Between Friday night and Saturday evening, multiple neighborhoods received over 200 millimeters of torrential rainfall. To give you an idea of just how much rain that is, 200 millimeters is about 8 inches, more than 2/3 of Rio's average January rainfall. The sheer volume of water overwhelmed drainage systems and triggered over 180 flooding and landslide incidents across the city. Hardest hit were the North Zone and metropolitan regions of Rio. Shocking videos emerged of entire streets swallowed by surging floodwaters. The raging currents swept away cars, buses, and even a fire truck in their unstoppable path. Tragically, several people drowned right inside their vehicles. Landslides in hillside favelas buried homes under piles of mud and debris. Let's take a closer look at some of the major impacts. Multiple highways and major arterial roads like the Avenida Brazil were fully inundated, leaving drivers stranded. Rising floodwaters flooded bus depots and metro stations alike, bringing public transportation to a complete standstill. The basement of the Ronaldo Gazola Hospital in the North Zone was totally flooded, causing a power blackout in the premises. Nearly 150 incidents of fallen trees were also reported. In the worst affected areas, first responders in boats had to evacuate hundreds of families from their homes. Tragically, though, 11 people lost their lives to drowning, electrocution via live wires in the floodwaters, and landslides. Among them was a 60-year-old woman whose car got washed into a river. Emergency workers are still searching for her body. Over 1,200 people have been rendered homeless and are taking shelter in municipal housing. In response to what Rio Mayor Eduardo Paes termed a state of public calamity, emergency disaster protocols have kicked in, from deploying security forces and civil defense teams for rescue efforts to restoring public utilities.
Debaixo d'água. Olha a situação.
Contingency plans are being actioned. Multiple emergency shelters have been opened for displaced families. The federal government has offered financial assistance for the reconstruction effort. Recovery is expected to be slow and painful, though, with early damage estimates running into over $125 million. Floodwaters may have receded from most areas, but they leave behind destruction and debris that could take weeks to months to fully clear up. and the poorest neighborhoods with weak infrastructure have been impacted the most. While extreme weather events are expected to increase due to climate change, Rio's drainage and contingency planning has come under heavy criticism. Most of the storm drains, pipes, and canals have not been upgraded for decades and are no match for the kind of volume they witnessed. Their capacity simply collapsed under the onslaught of rainfall. Plans to widen and deepen drainage channels have been stuck for years due to disputes over budget and jurisdiction within different city agencies. Will this finally serve as the wake-up call for Rio's administrators to invest in climate-proofing the city by improving canals, pumps, reservoirs? Will the overwhelmed drainage systems finally get expanded and upgraded? And how can the emergency response be made more robust? Rio will be hosting the Olympics just 2 years from now. Are its existing infrastructure and safeguards adequate to deal with extreme weather events in the future? The distressing visuals from Rio also serve as a loud warning signal for coastal cities worldwide. As climate change boosts the frequency and severity of torrential rains, flooding and landslides,
Meu Deus! Meu Deus! Meu Deus! Meu Deus!
urban resilience has become crucial. Instead of playing catch-up after each disaster, the need of the hour is proactive policies and smart technologies to bulletproof our cities. Because while Rio struggles to get back on its feet this week, extreme weather events show no signs of abating in the coming years. So there you have it, the key outcomes and lingering questions in the aftermath of Rio's Great Flood. Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Should cities be doing more to guard against climate disasters? What can global cooperation achieve in this arena? Let me know what you think, and we'll keep this conversation going. Until next time, stay dry, my friends.
Irajá, meu amigo. Olha aí.